Train the muscles, not the joints. Welcome back to Natural Galant Bodybuilding Mountain. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about close grip bench and how close grip can be kind of relative, right? So I've experimented with different forms of close grip bench, and you know, we've talked about not just the technique of flaring the elbows or elbow tuck, but let's talk about grip width. Now, when you go narrower with your close grip bench, you may notice that you get a certain type of stimulation on the triceps, shoulders, and chest. And then when you go a bit wider, you may notice that tension slowly starts to disperse over a number of different areas, right? I notice when I do a medium close grip, like a little bit wider, I notice that I get a bit more chest and I get a bit more shoulder, but I also get the tricep in a different way. And what I'm going to say is sometimes by recruiting other muscle groups, you may get more intensity on the tricep rather than doing it so that you're totally isolating that area and having to lift lighter weight or do a certain restrictive type technique in order to get the stress on there. So I know this sounds counterintuitive. Let's go another 10. But I have noticed that it feels a bit better on the triceps because I can get the chest and the shoulder to recruit heavier weight. And then in certain areas where the tricep is primarily responsible for the lift, I'm getting more stress on the tricep. Crazy, right? Still learning stuff after almost 40 years of training. I'm still learning stuff. We're still experiencing things from a different point of view. So one thing that came to mind around this was if you're doing close grip bench for bodybuilding, or if you're doing close grip bench for powerlifting or trying to lift heavier on the bench, you would have a slightly different technique. So if I'm doing close grip bench for powerlifting, I probably would want to use a bit more of a medium grip, so that way it emulates a bit closer to what my bench press grip would be. It's not the same, but it's a little bit closer, and I'm trying to recruit all of the body parts in just a slightly different way. So some muscles will be more dominant than in the wider grip bench on close grip. So on close grip, yes, triceps are going to be more the weak link than say the chest. But if I'm recruiting a bit of the chest and the shoulders, I'm still going to be lifting some heavier poundages on those triceps. So therefore it may transfer to a heavier bench press in the long run. So today I just did some bench presses in the garage with just 225, lightweight for me, for my standard bench press grip. And now I'm going to do the same weight because I'm too lazy to change the weights. I'm going to do the same weight with a close grip, not a super close grip, but kind of a medium close grip bench, and do about 3 sets of that and see how the triceps feel. So this is my normal grip out here, right? Out here is my normal grip. And then now I'm going to go more in here. So kind of like middle ring finger, or my middle finger on the knurling here on this particular bar. So now, like with that particular grip, sorry, I'm adjusting my ass on the bench here. There's a little bit of a crease in the bench, and I got to get the cheeks in the right spot, you know what I'm saying? So in this particular form, I had my grip about here, right? And I felt a lot of the stress right here, right? In the elbow, along with the outer tricep a bit, right? But I'm going to go a little bit wider now, a little bit wider to bring in and to recruit that chest a bit. But again, not quite as much as I do with the bench press. And the beautiful thing about changing up your grips is that you can start to play with the forces or with the tensions like a symphony and see where you are feeling things most dominantly on the areas that you want to hit. So again, you might be doing this because you want to work the triceps, or you might be doing it because you want to increase your bench press, and you take these decisions into account as you do this. But in the end, there's no wrong decision. In the end, you're stimulating the system as long as you're not putting undue pressure on the joints and getting joint pain, feel free to play around and see which tensions work for you. Motion. Now my last point is going to be this. Sometimes when you make a movement super isolated, say you make the close grip super isolated, so you make the grip so narrow that you're tweaking the wrists and you're putting stress on the triceps, but you might be also putting stress on certain areas because you're not lifting in a way that is natural for your body, right? There are certain ways that are more natural, or at least closer to natural movements, which make it easier for your body to facilitate a freer movement. And that sometimes will allow you to isolate the muscle more so than making something extremely awkward. So even though I'm going a bit wider on this close grip, I find that it actually allows me to recruit the tricep better with less stress on the elbow, but at the same time, more stress on the muscle belly. I'm able to generate more power and explosiveness in that particular area. So you're going to notice that sometimes extreme isolation is great, and sometimes it can work against you. Sometimes you want to find that sweet spot, and that's why you have to experience first and foremost rather than just do something because that's the way it's supposedly done. You have to kind of feel what's happening. And in this, I feel the belly of the tricep so well that I'm going to stick to this form more so than doing super narrow. Play around with this. I hope this helps you out in your training, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. And if you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgolandbodybuilding.com. And those of you who have not checked out the Patreon podcast yet, make sure you check that out. The link is in the description. And thanks a lot to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. Motion.